Okay, here we are. We've got the roof undone. We've got our information. Now we got to put the roof back together. I went and marked a very vague line where my patch is going to go. So I know that's the portion I got to glue, but it's also the portion that I got to clean, because nothing's going to happen unless this rubber gets clean. So you get a little bit on your rag. It doesn't take a lot of this. You clean it off. The better you clean it, the better it's going to stick. Just like sweating copper pipe. Copper pipe doesn't weld together good. Look at that. Copper pipe doesn't weld together good unless it's clean. And this glue isn't going to stick to this rubber good unless it's clean. Go to the dollar store, get yourself some fresh new towels. Nothing on them. They're cheap, inexpensive, allows you to do this right. This is one leak that they won't have again once we cover it up. But it's not going to stop all the other leaks, and there's leakage in this building in other areas. As you'll see, this thing's air drying. Very nice. Got that bonding adhesive, or black glue as they call it. There's two kinds of glue. There's yellow and there's black. The black is for gluing rubber to rubber. The yellow is gluing rubber to anything that's not rubber. So you want the bonding adhesive. We are going to glue rubber to rubber today. And you know, this is kind of an art. If you haven't been around this before, it's kind of an art as to how you glue it. A lot of people think, oh, just slap the glue to it as much as you can and be done with it. You don't want to do that for a simple reason. Your glue is not going to tack off right. See that glue? And you want it nice and wide on here. See how I'm wiping it? The reason I'm wiping this glue is that it literally, and I mean literally, eats a portion of the rubber. That's its job in life, is to eat this rubber up. Oh, what a cheap ass brush you bought me, Jose. I can't believe you bought this thing.
Dollar store, huh?
Dollar store, yeah. One of the reasons I broke it. Oh, give me another brush. See, that's the beauty of the dollar store. I can set that brush aside and I can pull out the next brush, because I only need one brush, really. It's not like I'm going to be doing this all day. Now, back to where I was. So you want a minimum of glue, and when you put this glue on, you want this glue to go on almost dried, because you know that it's going to eat a portion of the rubber. Okay, so you don't want it to keep eating after it should already be dry. So there you go. We're going to let that tack off, and guess what? This is a piece of uncured flashing for epdm. The reason this vinyl's on here, it's not because it's sticky, it's because we have to roll this patch in once we set it down. But for now, what I want you to understand is you have to totally glue this patch.
Good.
I glue my patch, and you want to totally glue all the edges of this patch. And I'm going to tell you why. The edges are where your first line of defense. That's, you want to make sure that you've covered these edges good, because that's where you're going to have a problem later on down the road. Most of the failures in rubber roofs are plain and simple. Not the rubber itself failing, it's the flashings failing. And a lot of times they fail because guys didn't put them on right in the first place. They didn't put the right amount of glue on, they didn't let it tack off long enough, and they didn't get the edges. And that's what we're doing right here, is getting these edges real good. I don't like getting this glue on my hands because it takes pumice stone to get it off. Look, totally. Look. See, it's already getting tacky. Now, we're gonna let this glue sit and tack off, because that's the key to any good rubber band, is the time that you let it tack off. Once it tacks off, we're gonna come back, we're gonna feel it, make sure it's dry but tacky, and we're gonna put it in. We'll show you how to roll it in. Okay, now we're ready to put it back in. And if you look at your spot, if you look at your piece of rubber, see, it barely pulls it up. That's what I'm looking for. Barely pulls, even the cut piece, it'll barely pull it up. You go over to your patch, barely picking up on it when I touch it with my fingers. That's what you're looking at when you want to roll this in. Take your piece, try to lay it, center it even on it, lay it in. The reason this film's on this is so you can roll it in with the roller. I always start in the center. Now roll it real good in the center. Roll back the other way. And the beauty about this uncured rubber is you can bend this stuff around corners with a roller. You can flash curbs or units or anything. This stuff, we're using a patch, but this stuff comes in a roll. You can get in a big roll of 6-inch flashing for all your needs. Makes great patches if you ever have a problem in a rubber roof. But you want to roll it in real good. I got a system kind of that I used from doing this for years. I'll roll one way.
You can hear that it's actually fully grabbed now.
Oh yeah. And then I'll come back, I'll roll the other way. And I always get that edge good. This patch will outlast the rubber now, probably. And that's what you want. You want it on there forever now. And as you'll notice, this patch, there's even a thinner layer right here. So what I'll do with that is I'll short roll this, and I'll take my roller right to the edge of it. Roll it right down. I like to give sound effects when I'm doing this. Roll right down that edge. You want that totally adhered to that rubber. Back to my edges again. That noise you're hearing, a lot of that noise, I'm pushing, if you can see this, I'm pushing gas bubbles. I'm pushing that gas bubble out of there. So I don't want it under my rubber. But that noise you're hearing, a lot of it's this vinyl on top of the patch loosening up because I'm sucking the patch down. Okay. Now, grab a piece of your vinyl. Voila. Pull it off. And once again, I hit this back side one more time, right on the edge where that thinner piece of rubber is.
A little bubble there.
These bubbles will go away in time. They're just gases under the rubber once the glue totally dries. That little gas bubble will go away. Not too worried about it. But as you see on the hole, there's no bubbles in it. You know, it's really smooth there. Even where the divot was. I can still feel this divot through the rubber though. I bet you, right through this rubber. If I chalk this again, oh, there it is. Man. It's still there.
Oh my God.
That's how hard the hail hit this rubber. I'm Big K, me and Jose Contreras are signing out. We did our job here. You'll catch more of this video back at the office. Peace.
Scared.